Hello and welcome to Youngstown Playlist, a show dedicated to highlighting local music right here in Youngstown, Ohio. We are kicking off our 4th season with a trio who is set to steal your heart with their jazzy sounds. This is Black Wolf and the Thief.
We look at the world through the eyes of a child. Everything's new and everything is wild. Everybody knows something must be wrong, 'cause no one ever stays smiling for this long. We're just little kids at the top of the slide, here just for the view. Someday we'll take the ride. Passengers at the top of the Ferris Wheel, only two here in the circle of lights and steel. Look out at our city, so high I can't tell where it's home. We go up together, but I come down alone. City, the people like ants rushing home, and we go out together, but I always come down alone. Together for the moment, or together for forever, or together we may never be. Together for the moment, or together for forever, together we may never be. It's just me.
First, I guess, talk about your sound as a band. One of the things that really sticks out to me is the way it's set up. It's piano, keys, drum, singer, and it's pretty different in terms of what else is going on in the area. So talk about the sound of your bands.
So our sound has kind of evolved since we started, but as you pointed out, one thing that strikes people, and we've had a lot of people make comments about this, is that we don't have a guitarist. That it's just me on keyboard, and then we've got Chaco on drums, and then my wife sings. So that right there is like kind of striking, and we initially modeled that after the Doors. I do left-hand bass and everything. I was a huge Doors fan, so I'm like, yeah, man, we don't need guitar, man. Guitar's lame. Guitar's the past, man. But for real, and when we started, we were like this really like still pretty acoustic sound. And lately, since the addition of Brian, a year ago today, as our drummer, we really started I really got into electronic sounds and everything, and so we've kind of, I feel like, done a pretty good job of marrying like your traditional pop rock music sounds with like the newer electronic sounds. So we're not totally Foster the People where we're just like, boop, 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 pumped up kicks, but we're also not like Van Halen, like, oh, chirka, 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 you know what I mean? So we're kind of a nice mix of both, I think.
Talk about the technical end of the keyboards. I mean, how are you tweaking the sound to get what you want it to sound like in a live show? Because you can...
Hours in the basement.
I believe
How much time do we have?
Until the SD cards are full, man.
Okay, good. Here we go. No, so the short answer, basically, it's funny because I think a lot of people, the electronic side of music is often disparaged, and people are like, oh, that's not real music. You're not really being a musician. You're just pushing buttons. Why don't you play music? I always, like old guys with guitars always say that kind of stuff. So that's
You really have it out for guitarists. This is alienating most of my
This is
viewership.
terrible. It's terrible. No, I'm kidding. I don't have it out for guitars. But really, seriously, in the pop rock culture, I feel like often it's not even a specific guitar thing. It goes with pianists too. Is that electronic music is not real music, and it's being a fake musician. But I mean, I'll just give you like a window into my world. So like when I'm creating things, I run a Yamaha motif, which I spent about 4 hours one day creating a patch that allows me to route the bass to a separate input or a separate output than the keyboard. So that just was like a programming thing that I had to do to figure that out so we could have separate sounds there. So for each section of the song, I have a different set of patches that's set up and triggered through the keyboard. So if you watch me play a lot of times, you'll see me like playing and then frantically do this, and that's me switching to the next section.
It's not a spasm.
Yeah.
You're not having a heart attack yet.
And so that's what it is. And like building each of the chord triggers, I actually have to go in and press the note and then click all the notes that I want and decide if it sounds good and then do it again. So I mean, like, if my practice schedule for a week of shows, like if we're playing 2 shows, my practice schedule is maybe I practice for 5 hours. Probably 3 of that is just getting sounds together. And then of course, something just always goes wrong. I don't know why. And so like a fair amount of time is spent like, okay, let's fix this. Oh yeah, this chord trigger's totally wrong now for no reason, or this synth sound is not the one that I picked earlier, so there's a lot of stuff like that. So it's a very arduous process, and I remember the first time that I did it, I was shocked at how long it took. Because, I'm like, got my undergrad in piano performance, and I'm like, haha, I practiced for 6 hours a day. This is ridiculous. And I was kind of the electronic music is fake music, and then I did that whole thing where I made all these patches, and I was like, oh my God, this took forever. This is terrible. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. This is awful.
It sounds really cool.
But it sounds cool. It is. It's worth it. But it's interesting how most of the, I feel like it's opposite. Most of my time goes into making those sounds. And then the show is kind of just like, I am kind of just pressing buttons at the show, but it's like at the show,
all the prep.
you don't see like how much time I sit here like, okay, let's do this,
Well, it takes a skill to know how to, I couldn't go down there and like make sounds. I don't know what I'm doing.
How do you make a sound?
Yeah. It takes time. It's like I had to like, you just basically screw around. That's why it just takes forever, It's just like.
Yeah, like, so. And our music space is in the basement. That's why it's not like this creepy like music dungeon. Like he's in the basement for hours making sounds.
It's alive.
But like I'll just be upstairs doing stuff and I'll just hear like burp, whoa, burp, whoa, and I'm like, what are you doing down there? Like, it's pretty interesting to like witness happen as well. So.
Yeah. Very easy to go down the rabbit hole too. Oh, I just need this synth lead for this one track. It's no big deal. 4 hours later, it's just like, hey babe, I recreated the guitar solo on Bulls on Parade by Rage Against the Machine. We don't even play that song. Oh, okay.
What is the dynamic from the married couple working in this project?
Oh, it was so good.
Well, you hated it.
No, it was good though. It was good.
Yeah. Okay, so the what is really awesome, because I anticipate this question anytime anybody asks this, because it's like, well, yeah, I mean, what is it like? And one thing I've learned about being married, a successful marriage is basically finding someone that you can be really, really pissed off at and still function normally with. You have to be able to, because you can be as mad as you want at me, the bills still need to get paid, the house still needs to get cleaned, we need to be able to function and be pissed off at each other, right? So, we found that, I think. And so when it happens in a songwriting situation, it's just like, oh, okay. Yep, we still got to write the song though.
For other bands, that's like, are we gonna break up now? Like,
friends
how
of,
do we
friends of
move
mine
on?
actually, friends of mine on the scene right now are actually going through some really. That's what brought this up. I was talking to one of them, and they brought this up, and it's like really a big deal. They're like not doing super well, and there's like a lot of miscommunication, and just tension there. Like, how do you do that? That's so weird because it's a lot of times with the band, it's like you're friends, but you're not friends, but you are. You know what I mean? It's a weird relationship, and so having it be your wife, it's like they're telling me these things that have happened and things that have been said in the group, and I'm like, if Daryl said that to me, I'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever, that's fine. It will be fine in a couple days. It's all good. You know what I mean? So it's cool. It might be really awkward for Brian though. I don't know, because we've definitely fought
Maybe joke around that he's like our kid, where we'll be like, oh, mom and dad are fighting again. Just close your ears.
Earmuffs.
Yeah. I've known him since he was a baby, so it's easy for me. But I feel like people a lot of the times are like, oh, you're married and you're musicians. Is your house just always filled with music? And then they're like, oh, you write songs together, you're in a band together, how romantic. And one of our songs. Okay, so one of the songs on the album is Close to You. Was it track two? Track two. And I actually wrote that about him before we were dating and how I felt about him, right? So it's like, oh, how cute and romantic. And the songwriting process was so bad. There were door slams, I cried, some very bad words were said, there was screaming.
I believe the quote was, I may not have a music degree, but I know what sounds good. Door slam. Meanwhile, we had a show in an hour, I think. It was awesome.
There was a discrepancy. He thought the rhythm had to go this way because it had to, because I went to music school and I know the rules, And I was like, no, that's not how it has to go. This is what I wrote, because I actually wrote. Normally I just do the lyrics and he does all the actual musical stuff, but I wrote the melody and everything to that one. And so I was like, no, this is my first one. This is how it goes. It will work. And he's like, it won't work. And so it just blew up from there. And then, so then I'm like, that is what I said. I may not have a degree in music, but I know what sounds good. And slammed the door. And then he's still out there trying to figure it out. And then I came back out and he goes, it does work. And I'm like, I know. So it's not as romantic as people would think that it would be.
Yeah,
no,
that was
we have.
really definitely
we have.
the peak. We don't really normally write songs like that.
Yeah, we were still babies, I feel like, but it's not that bad all the time. But that does, and I said, I feel like if something like that were to happen in a band where you weren't a married couple, it'd be like, how do I go on? We hate each other, and it's just like, oh no, I love you still.
When the common ground becomes the issue, then
exactly. You don't have any other ties. It's like, oh, screw this, I'm just gonna go hang with somebody else. But it's like, oh well, I could do that, but then I still live with you, so yeah. I was just trying to make this work, I guess.
Outside of the relationship aspect, what is some of the most difficult stuff just as a band in general?
It's really awesome. We've been playing a lot, but one thing that I'm really nervous about is that our original music is just weird, really. It just is it's just weird. It doesn't sound like a lot of other stuff. It sounds really pretentious, but it's just bizarre. Most of our songs, we're so we're just artists, man. No, but for real,
We just don't get it.
we don't. have songs that have choruses. I mean, we have like 2 songs that actually even have a chorus in them. It's a very like Bon Iver kind of thing. Yeah, did you just realize that?
Wow. No, I mean, I think I always knew that, but I'm like going through the album like.
Close to You and Ferris Wheel are the only 2 that
Yeah,
have
no,
choruses.
you're right.
Yeah. So I mean, even just that right there, like we don't do that kind of thing.
Love Song for Evelyn kind of does.
No, but it never comes back. That's the whole point of the chorus.
It comes back 3 times in a row.
Yeah, that's not a chorus. We call it the chorus, but it's not like in the traditional sense. So our original music. Yeah, no, you know nothing. No, but like so our original music is really, really weird. But we've had, especially recently, we've finally have people coming to our shows who saw us somewhere else and are not our friends or family, which we love our friends and family and we love for them to come. But that's a really exciting moment when you got these people that are like, dude, we saw you at this place, we thought you were great. We brought our friends this time. I'm like, I'm famous.
That's exactly
I'm famous.
That's exactly what this was. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I saw you.
Yeah,
at
you
one
know, I
thing
mean,
and,
it's really, really awesome.
It's exciting when that
Yeah.
happens, I feel like.
But my fear is I'm like, not to toot our own horn, but toot toot. I think we're a really good live band, you know, because there are 3 of us, that whole mind reading element that has to be present in bands is like there, and we
less channels to have to-
rehearse like 2 or 3 times a week. I mean, we're like in the shed, like really making stuff happen. You know, we have transitions in between songs when we play live. It's like, you know, we really try to make it as much of an experience as we can, even when we're just playing, you know, these like 3-hour bar gigs, you know, that I feel like oftentimes it's really easy to just kind of like turn your mind off and be like, whatever. You know, we really try to like make it happen. And so I think we put on a good show. And my fear is that people are going to be like, oh, yeah, it's that band that does Folsom Prison Blues. I love that song. It's great. And then they hear, what, and buy the album, and they're like, what the hell is this? Oh, my God. You know what I mean? And so walking that line, especially just in the Midwest generally, I think it's just a problem for everybody. I don't think it's just us. And being that cover band, but that's trying to be an original band. And it's tough because, you know, you can be just an original band, but it's like you're not going to be playing like we are at this point.
Like pretty much any gig you can get in this area is at least 3 hours.
Yeah, it's 3 hours, and who has 3 hours? We don't even have 3 hours of original music. Maybe have like an hour and a half, you know. And even if we did, no one would want to hear it, you know. And so I think that's our biggest challenge is kind of walking that line of, okay, well, we're really trying. We've been writing a lot more. We have more original stuff, and we're trying to like make that our thing, and just kind of, I don't know, just walking that, figuring that out has been kind of tough. And then I'm just always afraid everybody's going to hate everything that I do. So.
Well, it's hard. I feel like everything we write is personal because we did it, but like, especially this album, I feel like there's a lot of really like deep, personal, meaningful for me anyway. Like a lot of the songs that I wrote on that one, and it's like revealing that to the world now. You know, like, ooh, you just gotta look into my soul.
You're like, hey, I hate it. It
yeah,
sucks.
yeah. I don't know.
Play Somebody to Love again. You know, and it's like,
I don't know, you know, it's like that's my little baby and I'm setting it free and I just hope people are respectful of my baby. I don't know.
That's our show. I want to thank Black Wolf and the Thief for helping us with our season 4 premiere. I want to thank everybody at Suzie's Dogs and Drafts downtown location for letting us record there. And as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to like and share this video, like our Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss another episode. See you next time.
So yeah, it was a journey for sure, which is fitting because I think the album, when you listen to it,
Is in fact a journey.
too.
Makes one feel like a pioneer, if you will.
This guy.
Horrible. What is your favorite misname that you've heard so far?
In our logo, it's the wolf and the fox.
Yeah.
So.
They're
it's
not
kind of-
cats.
no.
Everybody always thinks they're
Yeah,
cats.
people a lot of times will be like, oh, kitties.
Oh, kitties.
And I'm like,
Which if you're over the age of 6, you should recognize that they're not kitties. And
which
it's
is maybe why a black
Cat and the Sheep. Black Cat and the Thief. Black Cat and the Thief.
Black cat and the sheep would be
Black Wolf and the Sheep was
My
one.
phone fell
Like,
somewhere.
oh man, Black Wolf and the Sheep, they're gonna be back. I'm like,
Yeah.